Just because his wife asked for a divorce, this man beat her to death. He tossed aside the weapon, then fed her body into the cremation furnace. In just 10 minutes, a living, breathing person was reduced to a pile of ashes. Sean is the third-generation owner of his family's funeral home. He has a unique craft. He can turn cremated remains into all kinds of keepsakes. His wife Lisa's ashes were pressed into a vinyl record, etched with the couple's favorite song. He wanted her by his side forever. As for the bloodstains left behind from the murder, someone else would take care of that for him. 3 days earlier, Lisa had rented out the funeral home to a film crew, letting them shoot a murder scene right in the chapel. Sean was firmly against it. To him, the chapel was a sacred passage for the departed on their way to heaven, not a place to be tainted by worldly affairs. But then Lisa dropped a bombshell. She wanted a divorce. She'd had enough of Sean's rigid ways. The funeral home was falling apart, and business had dried up ages ago. What was wrong with renting it out for some extra cash? More importantly, Lisa's talent for doing makeup on the deceased had landed her a job as a makeup artist with the film crew. She was about to head to Miami and start a brand new life. It's not like Sean didn't try to make things work. On the night it happened, he sent her a message, begging her to stay. But all he got back was a photo, suitcases packed and ready to go. Her mind was clearly made up. Staring at the film crew still shooting late into the night in the chapel, Sean finally made his decision. Taking a life isn't all that hard. Not for someone who's spent his whole life surrounded by the dead. The film crew had promised to restore the chapel to its original state before they left, and that included the blood splattered on the walls. So without lifting a finger, he had the crime scene perfectly cleaned up. But what no one could have predicted was that a body lying in a coffin would be the one to spot the hole in his plan. Anyone who's done extra work knows the deal. Playing a corpse pays well, and you even get KFC for lunch. Daisy may have had the mob on her tail, but picking up the occasional odd job kept her going while she stayed on the run. She and Lisa hit it off right away on set, quickly becoming the kind of friends who shared everything. They made plans to head to Miami together, but by the next morning, Daisy was still waiting. Lisa never showed. She went to the funeral home to ask around, but Sean told her Lisa had already left with the film crew. That photo of the packed suitcases? Proof enough, he said. Daisy was about to walk away, half convinced, when she caught a glimpse of Sean dancing to music without a care in the world. That's not exactly how a man who just lost his wife would behave, is it? Daisy immediately started digging. After confirming with the film crew that Lisa had not left with them, she snuck into the funeral home, but her footsteps caught Sean's attention. In a panic, she dove into a coffin to hide, and that's when she noticed a speck of blood on a light bulb. She leaned in for a closer look, but Sean came back.
What are you doing in here?
Daisy confronted him with what she'd found. Sean didn't flinch. He insisted his wife had left for Miami and claimed the blood on the bulb was just fake blood left behind by the film crew. But Daisy saw right through it. As someone who'd actually played a dead body on that set, she remembered clearly. The crew had carefully wrapped the light fixtures in plastic sheeting to protect them. That meant the bloodstain could only have gotten there after the crew had packed up and left. One call to the police, one lab test, and it'd be proven that Lisa was dead. As the tension between them escalated, the film crew's director, who'd come along to investigate, suddenly burst in. He said Lisa had just sent a photo showing her on a beach in Miami. Daisy's eyes went wide. Her instincts were usually spot on. Could she actually be wrong this time? She said goodbye to Sean and left. But something still didn't sit right. Following the sound of music drifting from the record player, she quietly crept upstairs. In Sean's room, she found the beach photo. The date on it was from 4 years ago. Sean had been covering up what really happened to Lisa. Before she could even pull out her phone to call the police, Sean lunged from behind and clamped a drug-soaked towel over her face. In her final moments of consciousness, Daisy watched helplessly as Sean wiped the blood clean off the light bulb. Every last piece of evidence against him, gone. And that included Daisy herself. When Daisy came to, she was trapped inside a pitch-black box. She could hear the roar of flames outside. Sean was going to burn her alive. But Daisy wasn't about to go quietly. She thrashed and kicked inside the coffin with everything she had. Luckily, the coffin was cheaply made, and she smashed her way out. Even face to face, though, she was no match for him. In a desperate do-or-die move, she pulled a lighter from her pocket and hurled it into the cremation furnace with all her strength. The extreme heat made it explode on contact. Flames leapt onto the coffins outside, and within moments, the entire funeral home was engulfed in fire. Daisy tried to drag Sean out with her, but as he watched his father's funeral home, the place he'd known his whole life, crumble around him by his own doing, Sean shoved her away. Then he walked back and sat down in the office chair he'd sat in for 60 years. He'd arranged the final farewell for countless others in that chair. Now, at last, it was his turn.